it's a moose. Fellow Toastmasters, you gotta love wives. It takes me 35 minutes to get here, so I have to leave the house at 6:35, or 6:25. At 6:30, my wife nudges me away and says, "You're gonna be late." Fellow Toastmasters, I'm glad to make a grand appearance here at the last minute. I would like to speak about the great white hunter that I am. This speech number 5 has to do with gestures, body language, and working with the public. I've been dreading this speech, trying to figure out what am I going to do. I decided that I'm going to tell a story. Now, as a hunter, I have been maybe 3 to 4 times. So I'm not that great, but mostly it's getting out into the world, getting out into the wilderness with my friend Kevin. We decided we'd go up into the Uintas, deer hunting one year. So we woke up very early in the morning. I don't know why, but that's the way hunters do it. We started tromping through the woods. Now, as I say tromping, that's literally what we did as we were looking for these deer. We didn't see any. We hunted all afternoon. And like all the great white hunters do, around noontime, we sat down to eat our lunch and fell asleep for about 2 hours. Upon waking, we decided that we'd be a little smarter this time, so we're going to go and have some strategy to try and find these deer. There were little hillsides or little hills throughout the area that we were hunting. So we had this great idea that Kevin would go around one side of the hill, I would go around the other. And we'd meet on the far side, and any deer that we scared up, one way or the other, we'd be able to trap these little critters. So we proceeded to do that for a while. Again, we couldn't see anything. There were signs. In the ground, we could see the tracks. We could see the little droppings. We could see elk tracks. We knew there was wildlife there. And we could see moose tracks, a big set and a little set, but no animals. As we continued to hunt, the night was coming on, or it was getting later, it was getting towards the time when we couldn't hunt anymore. We were sitting on a hillside looking down into this pristine valley, and there was a pond with a muskrat working his little lodge. We sat there for a while, decided we're going to call it quits. As we headed down into this valley, Kevin decided, well, one more time, I'll just go around this hill, you can go down there, I'll check out the little muskrat. So I'm heading down to the pond. The gun is slung over my shoulder, very relaxed. I'm not in any hurry. We haven't seen anything anyway. I'm not prepared for any game whatsoever. I go down to look at this little beaver pond, and I'm walking along the edge, very soft mud, not making any sound. And I round this willow pad, willow bush, and as I push the bushes up and step forward, there's the first wildlife I see. It's a moose. Now, I'm not talking about just startling a moose. I'm talking about there was a moose. She snorted, and her nostrils, which were this big, then became that big. I was close enough that I literally could kiss her. I could reach out and touch her. Her muzzle was about that wide, her head was about that long. And as I rounded the corner, you have to look to see the situation. I'm very relaxed, I'm kind of walking along, and we startle each other. As we startle each other, what appeared to me at the time is that she began to rear, because I knew that she had a baby calf behind her. I could see the calf as I came around. In actuality, what had happened is the moose was stumbling backwards, and as her back end went trying to get traction, it appeared she was rearing. Now they say your life flashes before your eyes. In this instance, it literally did, because I'm thinking, here I am, very relaxed, the gun's on my shoulder, I'm trying to take the gun off my shoulder, thinking that she's rearing, that if I protect myself, the only option I have is to do a shot from the hip, left-handed, and I'm a right-handed person. So as we're scrambling, she's moving her way, I'm going my way, we're both screaming and yelling in our own aspect. I began yelling, Kevin, as I run away, and I go to the other side of the pond. The moose and her calf had gone a little further towards her area as we separated. My heart is beating like crazy. I don't even know how fast it is. I can see that she's, snorting and still breathing heavy. And we both just stand there and look at each other, not knowing what to do. Fortunately, I didn't have to shoot her. We both would just get at each other enough that she moved away. So that was my story of our great deer hunt that year. We never saw deer, we never saw anything else, except for the moose. And that's how I came close to kissing the moose. And I have run out of time. So I'm just going to end there. Mr. Phillips.